Hi everyone. Today I want to do, or this is Terry by the way, I want to do a wooden cross where I just do the cross, no talking, no throwing of the hands, just simple um, taking care of it. So anyway, you remove the sticker and then you sand it lightly and always remove your dust from your area. You don't want to have any dust there um, to ruin your paint, to get into your paint. So then you take the twine off, and I always save the twine and I reuse it later. I know a lot of people just cut it off and go on about their lives, but okay. So this is my same mix of the burnt umber with a little bit of black and some water, where you paint it and it kind of soaks into the wood a little bit. It doesn't really take it a long time to dry, but you have to make sure this dries completely. You won't, excuse me, you will not get the same effect if you don't let it dry all the way. I just realized that my camera is not close to me. It's got my microphone on it. So hopefully that wasn't too bad there. But anyway, you cover this. You want full coverage. So you have to get the sides and the back. Everything has to be complete. Because this is going to show through your top paint. So I'm just going to do the simple crackle with the school glue. It's the easiest and cheapest way to do it. I mean, you can buy crackle, but if you mess around a little bit with this, you can perfect it. It really turns out well. Um, really turns out really well. Actually, using the school glue, which I was really happy to 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 know how to do this because that crackle costs quite a bit. It costs quite a bit of money. But after this video, I'm adding on a video of one of the square crosses. I bought a case of crosses from the Dollar Tree, and I ordered it online and then picked it up at the store. So with that, you get the three different size crosses. You get the big one, which I'm working on there. You get a smaller kind of version of that one, and then you get the square, just rectangles making a cross. So they're all beautiful when you get them done, but people don't care much for the squared ones as much as they do for these. So that says chalk paint on it. I just want you to know it's not chalk paint, but it's seafoam green is the color. I did try to make chalk paint out of that, but it never really panned out. So it's actually a latex paint from Ace Hardware. But you want to apply a liberal amount of glue. You want the whole thing covered up to the edges, everything. Don't There we go. Don't go against the grain. Because your paint is going to crackle the way that you put that glue on. So you want to stay true to the wood grain. So you put it on and you drop your brush in the water and you grab your other brush to put the paint on. And when you put the paint on, you're going to put that on very, very liberally also. You really want a lot of glue, and you don't have to wait any time at all. You just go ahead and add your paint. I was waiting. I think my original video, I said 20 minutes. You had to wait, but you don't. I found out since then that you don't have to wait at all. That it actually works better if you don't wait. Um, I don't know why that is. See, I always get way too much glue, but that's what you want. And that container, you see me wiping that in there, it's got glue in it too. But I keep using it. I keep using the same one. But I'm only using that container for the crosses. So the glue that gets put back in there really doesn't hurt the paint, because I just keep using it over and over again, and it hasn't done anything so far. So the sides of the cross, you want to, you got to be really careful when you do the sides. So you're always going to have some excess glue on the sides, and then you want to just take it and kind of spread it around. It does not have to be perfect. See, I messed up as soon as I started. My brush went over the top, and you don't want to mess up what you've got going on up there. So you have to be really careful and kind of brush upward instead of running along the side. But it doesn't have to be covered completely with the top coat, because you're wanting that bottom coat to show through anyway. So, excuse me. So, just do the sides a little bit. And you can always do them again. You can always wait and do them when you do the back side of the cross. I do both sides of the cross every time I finish a cross. So, you'll see me here for video purposes. You'll see, I'm going to show you different stages of where this is at. So you'll see long parts of the video where I'm not even in the scene, just letting the cross dry and letting you see, how it is at different stages. So let's see, but you dry it completely, and I use that little Dollar Tree fan. I've only ever seen them once, and I was lucky enough to snag one, and I can't find it right now that I really need it because I'm hot. But I don't know what I did with it. It's pink, for crying out loud. How in the heck did I do it? But anyway, so I use that little Dollar Tree fan. I put fresh batteries in it and leave that over top of it. And you don't have to do that. You can let it just sit and dry. But for video, I wanted it to dry a little bit faster, so I put that little fan on it, and it works out really well. So instead of pausing the video and then coming back and whatnot, I wanted you to see how it crackles. So I take it, like I'm doing right now, I take it off of there and I show you, up close. You can see it starting to crackle there at the bottom. I'm kind of in the light, but you can see it's already started, and it's only been just a few minutes. So I'm going to go at different intervals of the drying process and show you what's going on. And it's kind of supposed to be like a time lapse, but I don't have the camera close enough. I don't have a good setup here. I need to get a tripod or something where I can move that camera around easier. I just don't have the setup for it. So here I'm just going to walk away and let it dry and let you see how long it takes, which made for a long video, but I think that it's neat when you watch it. And I want you to see, it's real time. It's what it does, what it does. So you can see here we're getting some pretty good lines in it. Sped the video up quite a bit to, try to get it. But I showed you it in just a few minutes, then I think it's an hour. You see there at the bottom, we're getting some really good crackle. I had to change my battery. My fan was running dead. And that did it right there. Sped that fan right up. Okay, so there we go. I believe that was at 1 hour. So I'm going to show you here in 2 hours, and then I'm going to show you in 5 hours. But look at that. Look at that crackle. It's turning out so pretty already. Looking good. Look at it. So awesome the way that works. Just that the glue dries faster than the paint. There we go. That's really pretty. Good angles on that. And that's in between, I think in between an hour and 5 hours, because I'm going to show you the 5 hours. I think at 5 hours, here we go. Oh, I was just showing you. I think I put that in the wrong spot. But not me, mess up a video. Come on. Anyway, look how pretty that is. And I think that was at 5 hours. We're at the 5 hour mark. Oh, I see me. I'm making a little outhouse there in the background. Oh, that's 2 hours. I said 2 hours on that. That's really good for 2 hours. And that's applying liberal amount of glue and a liberal amount of paint. There's no right or wrong. If you don't use as much, there's 5 hours. You're at 5 hours. And now it's pretty good to the touch, but I don't think it's quite ready to do the back side. Okay, so now I think it's completely dried. I did not do the back side of that yet. Just for video purposes, you're going to see that I did not finish the back side, but then it's going to skip to where I finish it and the back side is done on it. But here I'm making a burlap flower, which I have a video for that also already on YouTube. Check it out. But this flower, once I found this flower, this is my favorite flower. It's time consuming. Excuse me. It is very time consuming. I know it's very annoying that I have to clear my throat all the time. It's not just annoying to you guys for the video, it's very annoying to me too, so I get it. I would be, if I'm sitting there listening to someone doing this constantly, I'd probably be a little weary of watching their videos, but I hope that doesn't dissuade you from viewing my videos. I have COPD and I use 2 different inhalers, which most people that have COPD do, and the one is the steroid. It's I think it's Symbicort, and it brings that stuff out. So it just really, my throat always needs to be cleared. If I don't use my inhalers like I'm supposed to, I can't breathe. So I wouldn't even be able to talk to you right now. And I had a bad flare-up 2 days ago, and it was just absolutely horrible. I wanted to go to the emergency room, but I only take a few steps, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't breathe. And I'm downstairs in my house, down in the basement, which don't picture this old cruddy old basement. This is actually all completely redone, or completely finished. But I have to go up and down those steps if I want to come down here, and the other day I couldn't do it. I just could not come down here at all. And then of course I have the bad knees, so sometimes I have to kind of sit down and scoot my way down. It's the actually going down hurts worse than going up. I don't know why that is, but for my knees I can hear them like make this groaning noise. And I'm not kidding. They make this it's bone on bone. They make this creak. That's what I'm looking for. They make a creaking noise sometimes when I'm going down. And if I turn any way whatsoever, oh my goodness, my knee's out for weeks. For weeks, it hurts so bad. So, and now I'm dealing with my back issues. I have some pretty bad back issues. I got some really bad news yesterday, but you'll hear me talk in the next video when I talk about it. But anyways, there's my burlap flower. Look at how pretty that turns out. Now see, I don't have the backside finished there, but you'll see there at the end when I glue everything on, the backside is finished. I'm just pretty much doing this just for video purposes, showing you how I will finish that off. But I don't glue anything here. I just showing you how to do it. So look at that beautiful crackle on that. It turned out so good. So here I'm just going to go ahead and glue everything down, finish it. When you cut this down, make sure you glue right away. And I know I say that in the next video too, but it's so important because I've had probably 3 of them where I went to hang them up and they just dropped. And because of not all 3 of them didn't, but I had 2 of them that while I'm working on the second knot, the first knot just come undone. So I had to go back and redo them because I didn't get the glue on right away, and it let some of that twine slip through the knot. So you're better off just to go ahead and glue it immediately. And yeah, as soon as you cut it, glue it. then let's see, I always do both sides of the crosses, even if I show you on here. But this one's done. I did both sides, and then you pick out the best side, and that one right there is so pretty. It turned out so pretty. And then I'm going to glue my burlap flower on, and then that will be it. I'll be doing the other cross for you. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned. Okay, so I took these wooden crosses from the Dollar Tree, and oops, not finished. I do the fronts and the backs before I do any kind of finish on them, but I crackled the paint like I do with the other shapes. With these square ones I do a little bit different. I notice on here that my color doesn't seem to be coming out as bright as in real life. So this is a really bright yellow. It's really, really pretty. And this one is gold, so you can see that. And then silver. I did the metallics on them just to see how they would come out. And I absolutely love the yellow and the green. These two, they're absolutely beautiful. This green one turned out so nice, if you can see that crackle. But anyways, I showed you how I do the other shaped crosses, and I thought, well, let me show you how how I've been finishing these. I take the Dollar Tree burlap ribbon with the lace on it, and I pull that lace off. It comes right off. It's pretty easy. You just you can use your scissors or your knife, and you just kind of pull it. It really kind of doesn't cut that well, but you can come to the back side and just start cutting. It'll pull, it'll cut. But you can use your scissors or you can use your X-Acto knife. Just be very careful. Keep your fingers away. Never pull the blade towards you. Hopefully you can hear me. I always have either video or audio issues. If I try to dub my sound in, I always end up not being able to match it up because of some issue I have with something. So anyway, you can just pull that off. I do the whole roll sometimes. Sometimes I just do a part of it, but what you end up with is this, a roll of lace. And I suppose you could just go buy a roll of lace, but I was working one day and I didn't want the lace on the burlap. I just wanted the burlap. So I just started pulling it off, and then I thought later, how am I going to use this lace? So I take it, you know, it comes off like this, and then I take it and I cut it. I cut it off here, or cut it down the center. Don't cut it off. I cut it in the center. And since I have a lot of crosses to do, I probably just go ahead and do the whole thing. But you cut it, you know, very easily right down that center. I mess it up. I mean, I end up like right here. I don't know if you can see that, where I didn't quite get it in the center. It's not a big deal. You're not going to notice it so much unless it's really big, because I can go back here, you know, there's different spots where I've done this, but it's okay, it's alright. So I'm going to take the green one here, and I'm going to pick out the best side. Got some glue on there. I better plug my glue gun in. That's what I better do. This side here I think is the best side. So the best side, I want to put the lace on the back side of this, since this is my best side. Let me plug my gun in. So, which doesn't matter at the moment. You're gonna cut this so your lace, your flat part is gonna be on the cross itself, and the rest of it will hang over. So we need to have, and you want it to be a little bit longer than what you actually need. That way, if you accidentally get a short piece, the rest of it's going to cover with the next piece. So I take and cut one piece, and that's perfect size right there. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is basically the same size. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at that length. And then here I'm going to need about here, and I'm going to need 2 pieces of that, and then I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the ends. And these do make these longer, because later then you can go in and trim it a little bit, but you're better to be too long than to not have enough. So once you get your basic ones cut, then all you have to do is go in and trim these down. Or I mean, trim more, whatever I'm trying to say. You have to read my mind sometimes, guys, because some things get trapped up in there. They just, as my joke, I know everything, I just can't remember it all at once. Or my brain is like a steel trap, just snappy, but it also traps everything inside. Sometimes it just don't want to come out. Okay, so I needed 4 of those. Then I needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these. Sorry, I lose my memory a lot too. Just a short term. Long-term memory is just fine. Unfortunately, sometimes I want to forget stuff. So anyway, I thought I'll just do a real-time video, because you know, I plugged in the hot glue. I don't really need the hot glue. See, that's what I'm telling you. Anyway, I should have just tried to use 1 instead of 2. I thought I'd do a real-time video. That way my audio and my video match, right? Oh my goodness. My last video was terrible because it double played the same scene, and so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 more, and while I was doing the sound, I realized it, but I did want to go back and redo it because I already redid that video 3 times and have so much trouble. I need to buy a really good video editor if I'm going to keep doing the YouTube videos. That's 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then I just need 2 of these, so I just need 1 more. Wow. Yeah, so I'm going to use tacky glue. So on these, was that it? I think so. Then, you know, I'm really bad about messy stuff. You'll see behind me. I think I'm going to put things away, and I tear stuff out to make room for something else, and then I just stop. Okay, so you're going to need your tacky glue, and you can start with any one that you want to start with. I like to put my glue on something. I like to try to take the lid off, it's already off. I like to put a big blob of glue down, and I leave this always stored upside down, that way it's always ready to go. I don't know why, I think I'm a quick draw or something. Okay, then I like to take a toothpick and you know, smear it where you're going to need it. Hopefully you can see me well. Yeah. Anyways, then I just take it and I smear it on there. And then later, if you need to adjust something, you can. Not a big deal. And I try to, you know, keep it right to the top and make it even. And I know that's a lot of, oops, you know what I did? I forgot to turn it over. But, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over just because I wanted that other side up. Here, wipe the tacky glue off. Turn it over. Wow, this side's really cool too, though. Gosh, you know what? Alright, so anyway, I'm going to put this back down. It has plenty of glue on it. Spread your glue a little bit. Just make sure it's up at the top. And then, move on. You can do them, you know, just go down and do them, or do all the shorts first. Do it however you want. I came up with this when I'm gonna say a couple weeks ago. I was like, well, everybody's choosing the other crosses, so what am I going to do with these square crosses to make them, you know, more appealing to people? And I had thought, well, what about lace? Why can't I put some lace on these? And because I had this lace just sitting here, like, what am I going to do with this? And I'm not a lacy kind of gal to actually, you know, like, put it on something I'm sewing or something. Plus my sewing machine is down. I'm having all kinds of trouble with the pressure foot. Not the pressure foot, the feed dogs. When I hit the what do you call it, the reverse button, it, first of all, I have to use my fingers to do that. I hate that about it. But I just got me a sewing machine to get me by a few years ago. Stopped using it, and I mean, I've completely torn it apart. I've done everything. I've went on the Singer site and, you know, got it all oiled up. I got it, tore it completely down, put it back together. Just can't find a solution for that problem. Completely rethreaded, but every time I hit that reverse button, it takes my fabric down inside the machine, and it doesn't matter if it's thin, thick. I can see if it's really thin material, but it just doesn't matter. So it just sits there and it jams it down. And I have tried, I mean, literally tried everything, and I know people are really helpful when they, you know, they say, well, did you, and everything that you can say, I did. I mean, I went on and troubleshot this for weeks, trying to fix this problem, and I finally just gave up and said, you know what, F it, I'm going to buy a new sewing machine, but you have to have money for that. So, oops, kind of mess that up. Once you start to set, you don't want to touch them like I just did. If it's a little bit crooked, nobody's really going to notice that, I don't think. That looks like hot glue. I'll never put hot glue on these. Anyway, so I wouldn't be able to sew lace on my sewing machine anyway, so. But this would be good, I mean, seriously. See, now here I didn't get this quite long enough. Because down here, I want them both to touch here, and up here, see what I got. But my next one that I put on might fix that problem. But I want these to be longer than that, and I cut mine too short. Telling you not to cut it too short, and then I turned around and did it. Let me see what's going to happen here with this one. If it'll cover it. And it does. So I lucked out. So this one is going to come all the way to there. Still make it out to the other. And cover that piece that gap there that's missing. So I lucked out. Just, you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. I'm not going to beat myself up for it. That was kind of broad there. So I got some bad news yesterday. I have it's an SYRINX. It's a cyst or a tumor in my spinal canal up in the thoracic area, and also among many other issues I have with I have multiple herniated discs. Excuse me. Multiple herniated discs. They're up in the very top are mild to moderate, and then as you go down they go moderate to whatever you call it, severe, I guess. And it's really weighing on me pretty heavy, I will say. I've not been this worried about something since my husband had cancer, but I just knew the way that these symptoms I have came on so fast that there had to be something in there that expanded or something, because it was just like all of a sudden my ribs hurt so bad. All of a sudden I couldn't I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit, I couldn't do anything. I had to have a back brace, and I had to wear it all the time, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? I felt like, I was crouching, but then my legs went numb, and I was like, what? Legs just can't go numb like that, but they did. And I don't know that that's due to the cyst. I don't think it is. So we want to even up here with our other one, and don't worry if we're too long out here, we're going to trim that anyway. So, but just make sure that we're even here at the edges. Kind of hard to see with my white background there. Okay. And then, which I couldn't, no, I didn't cut an extra. Okay, so anyway, stay on the tip of your toothpick. And then, so yeah, so I'm a little worried, and I thought, let me do a quick video and take my mind off stuff, but here I am talking about it. So, anyway, I can't quit thinking about it. It's the same as like, I don't know. I just don't know. It's like uncertain future. I see the surgeon on Wednesday, and he will give me the fat and skinny of the situation. The nurse that called me yesterday was very nice, and she tried very hard to explain stuff the best that she could, but she said, you'll talk to the doctor and he'll give you the rest of the information. So I have to wait, and I don't expect it to be, you know, anything good come out of it, but a new surgery, I'm sure. Well, they wouldn't send me to the surgeon if it wasn't that bad. But so let me see if I'm even here. Yeah, even to both sides. So remember, just make sure that you're all the way up at the top, or all the way up at the, you know, where they meet together. Just stay all the way. Oops. My finger's sticking to everything. A little bit more glue, please. So anyways, these turn out really pretty this way. Like I said, nobody's wanting this style. And I thought, well, let me see how I can doctor it up a little bit. And, you know, just sitting there looking at it, I thought, well, wouldn't that be really pretty if it had some lace on it? And sure enough, it was. I mean, it did turn out really pretty. I'm not tooting my own horn, it just... Actually, I am. You know what? I came up with this and I'm proud of it. Huh? I'm just kidding, guys. No, I'm not kidding. So here we want to make sure we're even at this point, which I already said on the last one, but so we want to be even here, and then it come out all the way to the end, which it does. I'm glad it does. So yeah, these ones I cut pretty well. So one more, and we'll be ready to and tacky glue, Eileen's tacky glue from the Dollar Tree is like the best glue ever. It just, you put it down, it starts to tack almost immediately, which means that you don't have this horrible wait time. Okay, so this piece got to be trimmed a little bit. It's down a little bit too far. Pull that up. Maybe trim it, because we want it to be, you know, we want it to be even. There, here, pull that down. Better to be too long than to be too short. Okay, so I'm going to need more tacky glue, because we're going to, oh, anyway, the tacky glue, yeah, it starts to set up immediately. Like right now, this is already the way it's going to be. If you try to move it, it's going to peel up real hard, and you're going to ruin the lace probably. So, okay, so get it on your tip, and then come in and glue just a little bit to glue that lace to the lace. Just lift up that top piece, put a little bit of glue on it, wherever, and then put it back down. And you'll never be able to see it when it's done. That's the best part about this glue. I mean, you don't want big globs of it, but you want enough on there to keep that lace hooked to itself. I think I might have, one of these I already did it to, but I don't remember which one, so I'm just going to do them all. If it won't come up, it won't come up. This part here you don't have to worry about. Just make sure everything is down. This right here, plus you can put it on the top part too, by the way. There we go. Just make sure it's down. Yep, see, this part's coming up on me a little bit. Sorry if I'm talking too low again. So I have that. I have COPD from smoking for, I don't know, 50 years. I don't know. I started very young because my brothers didn't want me to be able to tell on them. So they had me taking puffs, which I wanted to be accepted by them. My siblings did not like me. And because my dad, I was Dad's favorite, and he did not even try to hide it. I got everything. and they got nothing. And it's a terrible, a terrible thing, but it happened and it wasn't my fault. But I just wanted to be accepted by everyone. So when I caught them smoking, I'm going to go tell on them. And they're like, oh no, come here, come here. Here. So after I took a puff, then they're like, well, now you can't tell on us. So use the dry end of your toothpick if you need to, lay something down. If you use the wet end, it's going to pull it up. So I'll be right back. Okay, so then, got a little crooked down here. Oh well, too bad. It's not bad, it's just a little bit. Okay, so this is what we end up with on the back. But on the front, you can see the lace coming from the back, and it looks really pretty. So what we're going to do is, up here at the corners, we're going to go ahead and just trim it a little bit, just a tiny bit to make it rounded. Just make it a little bit more rounded than what it is. I messed up right on the first cut, but it's alright. So here we have a lot of overhang. So I'm going to cut that piece off. The piece that's kind of coming from the other side, and then that looks pretty just the way it is. So if you think it looks pretty the way it is, then don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. Just so it doesn't, you can't see where it's all squared out from the edge of the lace. I'm sorry, I started talking low again. Just such a habit of doing that when I'm here by myself and no one else is in the room. I feel like I'm talking to myself, so my voice just gets lower and lower and lower. I'm not a nut job, really. I got the camera going. So, one more here. And, even it up with itself. Like, if one corner's shorter, then do that, but it doesn't have to match. This one doesn't have to match this one. Just make sure that they match, beside themselves. And I think, excuse me, I think if you do this, cross, I think that you're really going to be pleasantly surprised. Let me put something dark behind it. I mean, pleasantly, whatever. So this turns out really pretty. As you can see, like I said, make sure that your corners are even with, so like this corner, you would want to match with that corner. Mine's just a little bit out. Just be careful. I need to use those little dinky shears, because these I use to cut everything. Those are the best scissors I've ever had. No name brand on them. It just says made in China. These are Fiskars here. These are good. But yeah. So match your two corners up here. Same thing. Match them with each other. If you have a piece of lace that's sticking out a little bit too far, just trim it down a little bit. Nobody's going to notice. No one is going to notice. So, now, with my hole's full of paint. So, I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and just cut that paint. Get that paint out of there. And then, so, excuse me, I am so sorry that I keep doing that. I like the thinner twine, so I have two different feeds of twine. I have a really thick one over here and then a really thin one. The one from the Dollar Tree, No, it's not. It's not from the Dollar Tree. I don't know where it's from. Probably a flea market. Wherever I can find it. If I find it cheap, I buy it. I don't care where it's from. If it's from some dude standing on the street corner. If it's cheap, if it's a good deal, it's a good deal. So, we don't want to crush the lace on this. So, when we do our knots, we want to keep them out just a little bit. So this, I don't have one handy, or do I? I have a box of them somewhere that are finished, but this is just a big mess down here. Oh, here they are. Nope, I don't have one with lace. I don't have one with the lace on it. So anyway, so we want to tie our knot, but we want to keep enough room up here that we don't crush our lace. So remember, when you have a good pair of scissors, don't use it for everything. Don't use them for everything. These were, I was willing to sacrifice them for crafting from my fabric. And see, it just says stainless china on it. It doesn't give you a name brand anywhere. I don't know where I got them. I probably got these at a flea market also. But don't judge a book by its cover, because these are the best scissors I've ever had. The best. Okay, so tie your knot loosely, not loosely in the knot, but loosely so it doesn't crush your lace. And then tie that tight, pull that tight, and then pull it this way, because it's just going to get tighter and tighter on your lace if you're not careful. Okay, so as soon as you cut, you use your hot glue. Let me get a little bit of hot glue out of there. It smells too hot. There we go. Always give it a good squirt first. Okay, so you're going to cut this right up against the knot, and then immediately, if you don't do it immediately, you're going to lose it. You'll have to redo your twine. And I can't tell you how many times I just like, oh, alright, I'll be there in a minute or whatever, and then I just barely touch it and my knot slips through. My strings, twines, whatever the heck it is, slips through. So you want to cut it just as low as you can, and then put some hot glue on it. And of course you don't want big globs of hot glue, so that's why I use my finger there. And sometimes my fingers are just full of sticky stuff. Like I have the tacky glue and hot glue on them now, so everything wants to stick to them. Okay, so if you just put your sorry, my back hurts. If you just put your twine on like this, longer to hang it, it's going to hang crooked. So if you always put one piece here, and then you have another piece to go off of that's what makes it hang, one way or the other. It's not going to be sideways. That's why I use the two. So, since I have this one in there now, I'm going to go ahead and hot glue this knot there. And I have done this wrong before. I've just not thinking. I've glued my knot to the wrong side, because I'm a dingbat sometimes. So if you do stuff like that, just remember, the uncoordinated crafter. because that's exactly what I am. Okay, so then we want to take this one and make our hanging knot, our hanging twine. So make our knot up here, however long you want it to be. I pull all the strings at the same time, and that makes them all tight so that it doesn't get smaller or whatever. So then we're going to do the same thing. Cut it as low to the knot as you can, and immediately hot glue it. And it don't have to be a lot of hot glue. I'm going to do it just because. Make sure that that whole knot is covered on that side. That way nothing can slip through. And then do the other side. Do the other side the exact same. Ouchie. Yeah, I got way too much on that one. That's alright. We'll fix it. Just be careful. Make sure that your glue dries before you start tugging on it or anything, because it will come undone. I've had it happen several times. Okay, so there we are. Then you can hang it. This is just little pieces of, that's the back side anyway. It's just little pieces of glue off the table, off of my parchment paper. So now you can put a bow on it. You can do something in the center if you'd like. Whatever you want to do. I have these little raffia things. You can make a flower out of it. I have this burlap flower that I am quite proud of. I found from another YouTuber. Isn't that pretty? Her darling. Isn't it darling? And then I have these raffia flowers. Not the big fan of that one so much. This one seemed to be prettier for some reason. Then I put the little bow up here at the top. You can do that with your with your flat cross if you'd like, or you can just leave it with the lace on it. I actually, once I showed someone how these squared ones are turning out, I sold one immediately. Not for profit, but I allowed her to buy it from me because she thought it was so pretty. So I think it would be pretty with a raffia flower. Make some petals on it. Thank you for watching. Please give me a big thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe button, and I hope you liked it.